Warning, the following show will spoil the hell out of George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire books and the TV show A Game of Thrones. Also, you're probably going to find a fuck ton of bad language. The explicit tag is there for a reason.
Death and boobies, 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 death and boobies.
Hello and welcome back to the Ironwood Network Book Club. I'm your host, Septa Ironwood, and with me, as always, is the amazing Maester Ironwood. How are you tonight?
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. Cooked a fancy dinner.
I got the dishes done before we came up here. It's actually been a kind of productive night.
Damn. All right.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that's what quarantine will do for you.
Make me productive?
Apparently.
This is the first day it's actually appeared to be productive, and I did work all day, too.
Day 7 trillion.
Yeah, we don't count.
Of quarantine. Pretty sure it's a weekday.
Yes, it's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
It's my day off, and I worked all day.
Let's see. Yep. Last night we just played a shit ton of board games.
We did.
We went to my mom's house and stole all of her board games.
Yes, we did. Better than paying for them all, right?
Yeah. After your sister came over and exposed us all to coronavirus. So that's nice.
Low risk. Yes. She didn't know until afterwards, but that's why no one's supposed to be coming over.
Right.
But it's our birthday this weekend.
Yep.
And
so for that, we all catch a deadly disease.
yes. Well, we were supposed to have lunch,
Outside.
social distancing outside, but we got a hailstorm and some really strong winds
And not
rain.
the good stuff, not the band, an actual hailstorm.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, fine. I'm not going to make you sit outside in the rain. Just come in here and don't go anywhere else. And of course, they all had to use the bathroom.
Yep. So they tracked coronavirus all throughout the house. Mm-hmm. Good stuff had by all.
Yep.
Well,
I do fully believe that everyone in my family has already had it.
yeah, mine too.
So,
At least big chunks of my family.
yeah.
A portion of it.
Your grandparents seem to have been spared the first time.
Or completely asymptomatic.
Yeah.
Because they were at my sister's house with us
Yep.
right around the time that her and the kids all had pneumonia that wasn't pneumonia because it was pneumonia.
And I had pneumonia. That wasn't pneumonia.
But there was no pneumonia, bacteria, or whichever one pneummonia is, virus or bacteria, in the pneumonia test, even though they had pneumonia.
The flu test came back negative, so they told them they all had pneumonia, which is exactly what happened to me.
But they also, just like you, they had the pneumonia test, but no markers
Yep.
for pneumonia.
Just an elevated white count.
Yeah.
That's it.
Which you would get when you're, I don't know, fighting
Sick.
a virus. So,
Yep.
yeah. And if you had it, then I certainly was exposed.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you sleep a foot away from me.
Sometimes not even.
No, it depends on how much you really want to snore in my ear.
Guilty. Yeah.
So, I most likely was also exposed, which means I'm completely asymptomatic. Because I didn't get anything.
Yeah.
So, thankful for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good times. I mean, so I read this article about a doctor
Okay.
who is treating COVID patients with nicotine patches because the nicotine, depending on how far along they are, potentially is stopping the COVID from attaching to the cells and therefore being able to replicate.
So you think smokers are safe?
No,
Okay.
but that's one of the things that nicotine in certain dosages might do. Another possibility that he's checking out that he's seen anecdotal evidence of so far is that it stops the immune system from overreacting. So it's stopping people's immune system from killing them, which is how a lot of COVID patients die. Is the overactive immune system, and apparently the nicotine stops the immune system from doing that.
That's odd.
Yeah.
I'd have to read more on that.
Because if you get it as a smoker, it's harsh because it's a lung infection.
Yeah.
So as a smoker, you've already damaged your lungs, so you're just going to get more damage to your lungs.
Yes.
But apparently nicotine possibly has some effect on how effective the virus is at attacking you.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah. So for some people, smoking might be the thing that could have killed them because of the virus, but might actually spare them, interestingly enough.
I have many coworkers who'd love to hear that information.
Of course, because you work in the health industry. What does everybody in the health industry do? They fucking smoke.
None of the nurses smoke.
No? All the doctors?
None of the doctors smoke either.
That's the first time I've ever heard of a facility with no nurses and doctors who smoke.
None of our doctors and none of our nurses smoke. It's housekeeping and some reception and administration.
These are the people with no medical background.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Weirdly enough, when I was in the hospital, the one and only time ever, every nurse I had was a smoker. Every single one of them.
Did they tell you that?
Yes. Because I was like, I could really go for a cigarette. And they'd be like, yes, I just had one. Fuck you.
That's so mean.
You could smell it on them when they came back from their cigarette break.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, anyway, what are we here to talk about tonight, Septa? Jaime 4.
Yes.
Back with Jaime, the Goldenahnd of justice.
Yeah, something like that.
Goldenahnd the just.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. So before I give us a synopsis,
you have a haiku.
I have a haiku. Let's see how it turns out.
Okay.
Goldenahnd the proud and his silent companion. If only 'twere Bronn.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not the TV show, though.
No, it's not. So I don't get Bronn.
Nope.
All right. Let's see. So, quick synopsis of the chapter. Cersei, the king, has commanded Jaime to ride to the Riverlands and help win the siege of Riverrun, freeing Harrenhall along the way.
Yes.
So, Jaime takes a bunch of men, leaves Sir Loras in charge of the White Cloaks, much to Cersei's chagrin. And she decides not to go with that. She has her own person that she wants. But however, the White Cloaks have to listen to Jaime instead of Cersei because Jaime is the Lord Commander.
We'll see how that goes.
So we'll see. So he heads on up. He arrives at Harrenhall. He finds Willis Manderly and gets him ready to be returned to his family. And then they head back home on their way to Riverrun to go and win the siege and bring Brynden Blackfish to Cersei for justice.
Yeah, pretty much. They're still in Harrenhall when the chapter ends.
Oh yeah, they're getting ready to go.
It's still nighttime.
Yeah.
But the next day they'll be leaving.
Yeah, they'll be leaving, yeah. So, that's what happens.
Yep.
Yep, nothing too fancy. All right. So, let's talk about Jaime and Cersei's relationship.
It's on the rocks.
Yeah, one could say. It is smashed upon the rocky shore.
Of Casterly Rock.
Yeah, exactly. Don't play with your hair tie. Come on, get involved in the show. You won't mind to record this late, so. No, I do.
Okay.
I am fine to record. Are you up and energetic for recording?
Yeah.
Okay. So Jaime and Cersei's relationship.
It's definitely on the rocks.
Definitely on the rocks.
She is a drunken moron.
Yep.
And he still pines for her, but at the same time, he's really, really mad at her.
Yep.
And he wants to turn his frustration into sexual frustration, but he knows it's not an option.
Yeah. Well,
especially
he
if
wants
she
to turn it into not sexual frustration.
Well,
he wants to get rid of his sexual frustration.
Well, right, but he keeps saying how he wants to just pick her up and throw her on the bed and fuck her really hard.
Yeah, because that's what you do with sisters, apparently.
Yeah.
And then, 1,000 times throughout the chapter, he repeats in his head, Lancel, Osmond Kettleblack, and Moonboy.
We're still doing that.
Yeah, we're really doing that now. This is the whole chapter is that.
Well, the first part, because he doesn't do that after he leaves.
Right. So,
she has basically commanded,
Nope, the king has commanded
that Jaime has to go help relieve the siege at Riverrun.
Well, win the siege.
Yes, because the troops they have there to siege
The phrase.
are starving to death.
And not doing a good job.
Yes. But, along the way, you have to take care of Harrenhall.
Right, because Littlefinger's decided he's not going to bother at the moment.
Yes.
And the people who are in charge of the Mountains Men, so shit, and we need Willis Manderly alive.
Yes.
Because we have to send him back to his dad.
Yes, because his dad supposedly did what we asked him.
Well, yeah, he killed Sir Davos.
Supposedly.
People saw the head and the hands.
People saw 2 dead boys, and it was Bran and Rickon.
So you're saying you don't think it's Sir Davos?
I don't think it's Sir Davos.
Okay.
You can cut off anyone's fingers.
It's true, you can.
So...
Unless they don't have a hand.
And you can also tar anyone's face and put an onion in its mouth.
That's true. You can.
So.
And they need Mr. Manderly to help them with their boats. Because that's what White Harbor does. They make boats.
Yep.
And that's a good port into the north.
Yes, it is.
Which they're going to have to take advantage of.
Yes.
If they're going to eventually, at some point, subdue the north.
Yes.
So, yeah, they need to get him away from Harrenhal. They need to get Harrenhal back to making money and sending it to the crown.
Yep.
So that will be Jaime's second stop, technically.
Well, it takes a couple days to get there. They make a couple stops along the way. It takes them at least a week to get there, if not longer.
Yeah. It's a long trek.
Yeah.
And they only have horses on foot.
Yes.
For some of the men, so...
Yeah. So, one of the stops they make is at...
Let's talk about who's going.
Okay.
So, Jaime's in lead.
He has brought Sir Ilan Payne with him.
Yes, as his Bronn.
Yes.
From the TV show.
Yep. Sir Adam Marbrand, who was his friend growing up, and he was the captain of the Gold Cloaks, or just a member of?
Captain of.
Okay. And he has 3 squires. Mm-hmm. They are hostages.
Yep.
And I'm trying to think who else is coming.
So he's bringing lots of men.
Yeah.
Red Ronnet Connington.
I was going to say Connington.
So John Connington's cousin.
Yep. They're bringing some holy guy who is the leader of the Faithful 100 or something like that. The Holy 100.
Yep. So he leads 100 men. Well, right now it's 86.
Yes. Because 14 died at the Battle of Blackwater.
Yep. But he leads 100 men. That's his company. They're
Yep.
they're God's soldiers. And they will be the ones that he puts in charge.
And they're fancy because they all ride gray horses.
Yes.
Or destriers is what called them.
Yes. And they are the ones that Jaime will be leaving Harrenhal in the capable hands of.
Yes. This man pretty much did what Aaron Danfair did. He found his calling in God after
he was a soldier. Yeah.
After a near death experience.
Yes.
And after that, he put away his lance and said that was a frivolous type
pursuit
thing.
Yep.
And now he's a religious fighter.
Yeah.
So he's not like a sparrow.
Right.
But he's a lord.
Yep. And that's not anything new, right? I mean, like, knights were often very religious, very devout men.
Yes. You
just look at, orders like the Knights Templar, and things like that. I mean, the entire Crusades was all about religion.
Yeah.
So, nothing shocking about a man and his company being both soldiers and septons.
Yes.
Something along those lines. So, yep. That's nothing new.
And I think there's one other of mention in this group.
There's a few important people.
Okay.
I remember Connington just because
it's Connington,
and we know that we know about his cousin John, who was excused by Aerys,
father's cousin or something, whatever.
Yeah, who was exiled by Aerys after he lost the Battle of the Bells.
Yeah. At
the Stony Sept. So they get underway.
Yep.
One of the first places they stop is at Ox Cross,
which is a Lannister hold.
Yep.
Because Jaime's nephew or cousin, Tarek, however you pronounce it, married the lady of the house.
Yes.
Tarek's
missing.
14.
Yep.
Missing, and his bride is barely a year old.
Yes.
So it's not consummated.
No, thankfully. But Jaime and his men are invited, or his lords are invited up for dinner.
Yes. Because what's the word? Not the Septon, what was Maester Lewin?
The Maester.
Oh, no.
Maester, you're not thinking of Maester Llewellyn. You're thinking of Sir Roderick. He was the Castellan.
That word, yes.
The Castellan.
Yes, the Castellan.
Basically the guy left in charge.
Yeah.
To run the place.
So they bring out the pretty little lady to say, here she is to welcome you, and now it's time for her to go to bed.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they get a nice dinner out of it. Jaime brings Sir Connington.
Sir Adam Marbrand.
Yep. Sir Ilan Payne.
And a dozen other
higher up men. Yep. So they go and they have a good dinner. And then Jaime and Ellen, well, I mean, as good as can be in an area that's war-torn and doesn't have much food and shit, so.
Yeah. Well, the conversations weren't to Jaime's liking. But, they spent like an hour talking about his hands. Yeah. And then he had a fit. And then they're talking about how the lady's husband has gone missing because he went missing during the raids.
Well, he went missing in
riots.
King's Landing during the riots.
So, can we talk about that for a second?
Sure.
So, this is a Lannister that we have never heard spoke with before.
Right.
But he has been married to this little lady since she was born.
Yep.
So that they could have the lands.
Yes.
Of Oxcross. And he goes missing in the riots.
Yes.
And nobody knows where he went. They found his horse, but they didn't find him.
Right. No body.
No body was ever found.
And you know my rule.
Ain't nobody dead.
Correct.
Which is a very...
But then again, nobody asked for a ransom either.
Yes. So, and then later that night, Jaime gets to thinking that maybe he wasn't... Because originally during the meal, he had said he had been murdered during the riots, like hundreds of other people.
Yeah.
And then when they realized who they killed, they threw his body in the river so that they couldn't be found out.
So Tywin didn't go apeshit.
Yes.
Because he says the people of King's Landing know Tywin's wrath.
Yes. But later he starts to think that maybe Varys had something to do with the boy's disappearance. Because, like they did say, his body was never found. Yep. Everyone else who was murdered in the riots was left in the streets.
Yes, except for this kid.
So
what do you think? Alive or dead?
I think he's alive somewhere.
Do you think we're ever going to find out?
No.
Okay.
No. He has not been a pertinent point in the story. And he's just another Lannister. Okay. And he's not a poignant Lannister.
Right. He's not even Lancel.
Yes. So he's like his aunt. He's Jaime's aunt's son. Yeah. I think.
Yeah.
So.
Just cousin.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Jaime barely know him, but.
Yeah. Well, because he's the son of a woman. Female Lannister, it's like less relevant kind of thing.
Right, because she's married into a new family now.
So she's not Lannister, but he is Lannister.
Well, because she's technically Lannister, so he's part of the extended family. His name's not Lannister, but he is a Lannister.
Yes.
So, and I'm sure Tywin had something to do with helping to arrange the marriage.
Yes.
And so therefore...
Well, and that's discussed too, I think.
Yeah.
Because...
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. That was the discussion later about Brienne's betrothal. Never mind.
Yes.
So.
Yes, with Mr. Connington.
Yes.
Yeah. So after the meal, later that night, Jaime and Sir Ilan sneak off for some training.
Yes.
And Jaime gets his ass kicked.
Well, yes. But it's also been a long time since Sir Ilan Payne has had to fight. Right. Because... about the time he lost his tongue is about the time he stopped fighting.
Well, because he couldn't command men anymore.
And then when Robert married Cersei and hired him as the king's justice, he didn't need to fight anymore. Right. He was just there to cut off the heads of people he said to cut off the heads of.
Yes, and to oversee the jails.
Yes. But he couldn't really do that.
Because he can't speak, read, or write.
Yes. So the undergaolers are doing that.
Yes. AKA Varys was doing that.
There was this whole 2-page thing of how Sir Ilan Payne is in charge of all the jails and stuff.
But can't do anything.
It's not relevant to this conversation. Yeah.
But we get all that information.
We do get all that information, and I don't think it's pertinent.
What I think it's meant to do is to show, because we know who the undergaolers were. Yes. So therefore, what it tells us is that essentially Varys had the run of the prisons. Yes. Because Sir Ilan Payne couldn't do it. Yes. So undergaoler Fat Boy, who was really incognito Varys, was really running shit down there. Yes. Yep. Although Sir Ilan Payne did have his quarters down there.
there.
Well,
in the tower. It was in the tower that is used for like lordling captives.
yeah.
People who are going to be ransomed that don't belong in
his
the Black
disgusting.
Cells. Yeah, he's a bit of a hoarder.
Well, not just that, but like he's got like vermin on the floor.
Yeah, there's rats everywhere. The rushes are disgusting. His bedroom smells like chamber pots.
Yeah.
Yeah,
not good. He's definitely been in quarantine too long.
You know, nobody ever comes to see him, so
why would he bother? Right. I mean, maybe because he might want to not live in a place that smells like chamber pots, but
whatever floats his boat.
Yeah.
Maybe he can't smell anything now.
It's true. Maybe he can't. But, yep. So they go off and they fight. Well, not fight, but train. Mm-hmm. Jaime's all bruised up.
Yes.
Thankfully, none of the men ask about the bruises.
But they all know better.
Well, some of the upper up men know what's going on.
Yeah, his squire's like, what are those? And he's like, love bites, lad.
Yep.
Love bites.
Yep. From the Queen Regent. And this is a regular thing. They train every night.
Yes. No matter where they are, they train.
Yep. So they always find a quiet place to go and train.
Yep. And eventually they find their way back to Harrenhall.
Yep. To
I say
Harrenhall,
back
because Jaime's been there before. Yes, he has. And they're let in, and Raph the Sweetling is in charge.
He's wearing the gold necklace, or with all the coins on it, that Vargo Hoat used to wear.
Yes. Vargo Hoat is dead.
All that's left is his head.
Yeah, he was served to Mr. Manderley.
He was served
piece by piece.
Most of the
prisoners. Yes. Give them goat, the mountain said. Let them feast on goat. Ugh.
Isn't that gross?
Yes. We learned that they have learned that Polliver and the Tickler are dead.
Thanks to the hounds.
Yep. Who killed them.
And his little boy that he's traveling.
Yes. But not anymore.
Yep.
Because the hound's dead.
Even though it was a girl.
No, it was a girl. Yep. Almost all of the people who were there when Arya was there are dead. There's 3 left.
Yep.
The cook.
The cook, the armorer, and Pia.
And Pia, who is no longer as pretty as she was the last time Jaime screwed her.
She's missing all her teeth and her nose is broken.
Yeah. Well, she's not even missing her teeth. Like, they're smashed.
Yeah.
So, she had spoken when the mountain wanted silence, and so he punched her in the face with his fist inside of his gauntlet.
Yep.
And smashed out her teeth and broke her nose.
Yep.
So, yay for her. That sounds like fun.
And I'm pretty sure she was raped multiple times.
Undoubtedly.
Yeah.
She's in a cell with a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly. And probably by all of the mountain's men.
Yes. Well, that was my point.
Yeah. So, no doubt about that. Jaime pretty much tells the mountain's men, if any of you want to stay here, that's fine. But I'm putting this guy in charge. You guys aren't going to be in charge of shit anymore.
Yep.
But then the guy who Jaime puts in charge is like, I don't fucking want him. Take him with you.
They're godless beasts.
Yeah.
And take Pia. She's a whore. She doesn't need to be here.
I don't need her flaunting her ways.
Keep parts is what she says.
Yeah, and Jaime says, I think she's well past flaunting at this point.
Yes.
And he's like, I don't care. She has a vagina.
Yep. I don't want her here.
Yep. Get her away.
Yep.
Let's find out the cloth can't be trusted to hold to our convictions. So you have to take all temptation away from us.
Yes.
Because we are not morally strong enough to do what we claim we can do through the power of the gods. So you must take all temptation away.
Yes.
Yeah. What does that sound like?
Weaklings.
Sounds like most
religions.
Yeah. You must take away the temptation. Because we are not strong enough to resist it.
Yeah. Don't learn to resist it. Just
get rid of it.
Yeah.
Take it away. So Jaime agrees that he will take all the mountain's men with him because he can always find uses for fighters.
Yes.
If worse comes to worse, he'll send them up the ladders at the walls of Riverrun first so they get killed.
And then Pia will be there to wash his clothes because for some reason with 3 squires, he still can't get his damn laundry washed.
Well, he's just trying to give her something to do because she was nice to him.
Well, yes, that too. But the boys have an issue with Jaime's dirty laundry. So
I mean, as a guy, I will say laundry, meh.
Yeah.
Meh.
You're a squire. Do your fucking job. If that means washing Jaime's britches, wash Jaime's britches.
Yep. I will say what was sadly missing from this chapter is all the witty repartee between Jaime and Bronn.
Yes.
Much missed. Like I said, that's one of the few changes that they made in the TV show that I really liked, was the addition of Bronn on Jaime's road trip.
Yep. So after dinner, Jaime goes for a walk.
Yep.
He's intending to go find Sir Aelin to go fight. Instead, he finds himself at the bear pit.
Yes.
Where a certain someone is in the bear pit staring at the bear's bones.
Yes. Who's there?
Sir Coddington.
Sir Red Ronnet Connington.
Yes.
And so they get to talking.
Yes.
And we get the backstory of John Connington.
Yes.
And how he was exiled by Aerys after being raised up to hand.
Do you think he's actually dead? You think he actually drank himself to death?
No, I think he's Griff, and
okay.
I think he's on the Shy Maiden.
I don't know who Griff is.
You'll meet him in the next book.
Okay.
I think he is acting as Fagon's father.
Okay.
So yes.
Okay.
So I don't think he's dead.
All right.
Well, actually, I know for sure he's not dead.
Right.
Because he comes back to their home. So
okay. And then Connington also mentions that he was betrothed to Brienne once.
Yes. And continues to pick on her, call her ugly, disgusting, and so Jaime punches him in the mouth.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Jaime obviously likes Brienne, not in a relationship or sexual sort of way, but they have I don't think he does. I think that he has a respect for her because of her fighting, because of her prowess with a sword.
Right.
He respects that because that's always how he measured himself.
Right.
Was his prowess with a sword and his ability to fight. So he
may love her, but not in a sexual way.
Right. Yeah.
Like the way you love your friends.
Not the way you love Cersei.
Right.
But yeah, so he's even now protective.
Oh yeah, he punched him right in the fucking face.
Mm-hmm. And of course, Connington took it.
Yes.
Like a man.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to tell the Lord Commander of the Kingsguard on what are you going to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I mean, even if you know he can't fight you back, like, we're going to kill Jaime Lannister. Like, the King and Cersei aren't going to send out men to hunt you down.
Exactly.
So, yeah. So he just takes it like a man.
Take your hit.
Pretty much. And that's basically the end of the chapter.
It is.
Yep. Not much else happened beyond that. Not a whole lot happened in the chapter.
Yeah, there's not a lot of descriptive.
Yeah, I wasn't really pining to know what's going on at Harrenhall.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, honestly, who cares what happens to Raph the Sweetling?
Yeah, I hope he dies.
Well, he's on Arya's list.
He is.
So, that means he should die.
Yes.
The Hound has died, and he was on her list. Lots of people on her list have died.
I'm going to give you the side eye on that one.
You are.
I am.
Well, we're not there yet.
No, we are not. Almost, Mama. Almost.
All right. We need a title for this little ditty.
I think we should call it Love Bites.
Love Bites?
Because there's the pissy him and Cersei at the beginning.
Yes, as in Love
Bites. There's the fighting that he calls Love Bites. And then there's his reaction to Coddington over.
I will go with it.
Yeah?
Love Bites.
What did you have in mind?
I had Road Trip.
Oh, okay. I like Love Bites.
We'll go with Love Bites. That's fine. Do you happen to know what our next chapter is, Septa?
No. I think it's Brienne.
Cersei. Next up is Cersei, so that'll be out on Tuesday. In case you missed it, yesterday we released episode 5 of the other podcast, our sports movie review podcast, where we did Tin Cup, 1996 Kevin Costner classic.
Yes.
So that's out if you want to give that a listen over at our other website, sportsmoviepod.com.
Yep.
Other than that, for all of the information regarding this show, how to support the show, how to subscribe to the show, all the back episodes, bonus episodes, all that good shit, you can head over to this site's website, IceAndFirePod.com.
Yep.
And that's where you can also get all of our screen handles and whatnots and wherewithals to contact us with questions, comments, complaints, or concerns regarding the show, the story, etc., etc. And also, don't forget to head on over to our YouTube channel and subscribe. That really will help us out big time.
Yep.
And so, until we get you guys again on Tuesday, goodbye, guys.
Bye.